Thank you for meeting with me. Can you say your name and talk about what you do for work?
My name is Johnathan Van Roekel, and I work for a nonprofit organization called Lake County Resources Initiative. We're based in Lakeview, Oregon, and our line of work is primarily focused on a triple bottom line approach, which means social impact, economic impact, and environmental impact. And we work in different program areas through various grants and funds to accomplish work in those areas.
What was your upbringing like?
Of course. So I grew up in a very urbanized and left-leaning politically environment. And when I heard I was coming to Lake County, I did my research and realized, a very rural place with conservative views. I was apprehensive at first, and it took some time to understand the culture and the motivations that people are following here. But I had to remember that these people are working hard, they're trying to make a living, and they're doing everything they can to support their community and the people that live here. And it's all based on this preservation sense and commitment to this place and the culture here. And so it became almost second nature to begin having conversations and meeting people where they were, to learn more about why certain perspectives and certain political viewpoints are had in rural and remote places.
What does your typical workday look like?
Sure. So a typical day for me in the role that I've been working in for the last few years has really looked a lot like coming into the office, coming into the space that we share. I share with the executive director, share with other staff members, and sitting down with a cup of coffee, opening emails, of course, doing the more mundane tasks of the day, and trying to of course get those things sorted out quickly so that you can get back to the mission at hand, which for me has been, again, engagement with some of the most critical players in this community and in rural Oregon, which are agriculture producers and small business owners. So really what that looks like is a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails exchanged, a lot of face-to-face and travel, getting to know people, again, getting to know people's stories and why the offers that LCRI, or Lake County Resources Initiative, brings to the table can help them and benefit them in certain ways. Really, I believe Lake County Resources Initiative's primary mission and focus is to bolster rural and remote communities and enhance their ability to be resilient to whether it be climate change or economic impacts on a national or international scale, and really allow them to become more self-sufficient for themselves, since historically what has happened in rural and remote communities is they've been left behind. And so many of our programs and the work that we do is really trying to lift these people back up, get them back on their feet, where they need assistance, not where we assume they need assistance, and work with them one-on-one with the problems that they are dealing with.
What do you love about your job?
I love the people. I love working with the people. I find myself, I've always thought of myself as an introvert, and I still do. I am quite introverted, but I do really enjoy having conversations and meeting new people and interfacing in different ways when it comes to the work that we do. And so really I think the thing I do love most about the work that we're doing here is all the different people that we work with from across very varying walks of life and work. Again, we work with residents of the community here in Lakeview, but we also work with ag producers and small business owners across the state. And it feels really good to continue to learn people's stories, meet them where they're at, understand what their needs are, and then see if we can help them in some way.
What were you like in high school?
Sure. So in high school, I was a musician. I wasn't a great academic. I really struggled academically, honestly, for a majority of my high school career. But I was in music, I was in band, in jazz band and orchestra, and I did that for a while. And then later on, I became more actively involved in soccer, and that became a very profound part of my high school career, leading our varsity team as a captain my senior year, and really, having a close group of friends, but very comfortable, again, kind of meeting new people and engaging with the team and different things like that. So, just step back, definitely struggled academically, but had a really good, strong social network. And I feel like that impacts my work still today, my ability to, interface with people and have conversations and be on the phone for long periods of time and listen to people, and really try to understand their stories. And then college was quite the whirlwind for me. I took a gap year between high school and college to do a Rotary Youth Exchange program where I was in Košice, Slovakia for 11 months. And after that, I went directly into university at University of Wisconsin-River Falls. And I really struggled. For about 3 years, I had very limited direction. I didn't really know who I was or what I wanted to do. It was almost kind of jokingly call it an identity crisis, really messed up in a lot of ways. And I I think it was around sophomore, later part of the semester, second semester, sophomore year. I was really close to dropping out. And I decided to kind of switch things up and take some art classes. Got to do some glass blowing and some other different creative work, which I think kind of rooted me back into who I was becoming and who I wanted to be. And then I was able to finish the rest of my college career and get a degree in environmental planning, conservation environmental planning, and geographic information systems. And so, taking that step back, kind of reassess myself, where I wanted to be in life and what I was trying to do, and then to push through that was a really big victory for me. Yeah, it was a really big victory for me to finally graduate college after so many struggles and trials and tribulations. At that point in 2020, when I graduated in the spring, it was pretty clear that there was going to be a pandemic and that things were going to shut down for a while. And so I was going through the job search, but I wasn't too enthusiastic about going to work for a big company or anything like that. And I did want to move away. There was this really big draw to go see and experience something new and different. So when I found a service opportunity here in Oregon, I was really drawn to it for, again, the ability to travel and see new things and meet new people, but also because I did grow up very privileged, and I wanted to acknowledge that, and I wanted to give back in a certain way. And I think this AmeriCorps service was my way of kind of learning to accept my privileges as a child and as a youth growing up, and try to give back to a community that I know a lot of people had been less fortunate than I.
Did you have any mentors along the way?
When I started in this position, I had, and still do have, a really good mentor who works for one of our partnering organizations. And she explained something to me that's very simple, but was pretty profound at the time. And that was, in our work, we're dealing with energy, we're dealing with energy infrastructure, we're dealing with energy efficiency, all of these seemingly complex concepts. And what she told me was one of the things to focus on, because she could tell I was getting overwhelmed with the details and the technicalities of the work, was that energy itself is important, but to look at it from a holistic sense, when we save energy, we save everything. We save the resources that go into that energy generation. We save resources that go into the production of the equipment necessary to generate energy. We save in almost every way we can when we use less energy. And so from a sustainability standpoint or from a resilience standpoint, that was pretty profound for me, because it started to change the way I looked at my work in terms of, okay, if we focus on these things, we're actually helping in a holistic sense, and we're helping meet the goals that have kind of be set up to combat climate change and the challenges that we're facing in this current era.
Do you have any advice for students who are trying to find their way?
All right. The biggest piece of advice that I would give to anyone looking to enter the workforce and start their professional career is to not be too enthusiastic about finding the right fit right away and right off the bat. Many times I've heard from certain individuals who felt like they knew their career path and they were set on it in college, and they were really going down this route for a forever career. They ended up being pretty unhappy, and I touched base with them, and it was something that they were going through in a change and feeling that they needed to go back to school. And so I would suggest that it's always helpful to take a step back and really evaluate what not only you feel you want, but what you feel you need for yourself to fulfill and be happy. And a lot of times that doesn't come in the form of money. It doesn't come in the form of compensation in some way. It really, to find the fulfilling work that fits you as an individual and fits your strengths is important.
What's it like living in a small town?
Sure. So one of the coolest things that I think rural communities provide for especially young people these days is there's endless opportunity to get involved with different things and different needs. And you become your own person through what you choose to get involved with, and people recognize your efforts much more quickly than if you're just a number on the street in an urban environment. And so the people that you meet along the way become really good friends. They become close to you and to your family in a way that really is it's a powerful, profound thing, because you get recognized for the efforts that you put out. It's really you get what you make of it, and it's a special thing to be able to go out and meet people, and then to recognize that, oh yeah, we're all involved in similar things, or we can all help each other grow ideas and build things from the ground up.
How would you describe your career journey?
Sure. Yeah, so far my career journey has really been a kind of shooting from the hip experience. So it's been one where I've been met with certain challenges or things I didn't expect, and I've tried to make the most of those things. And because I've put myself in difficult positions and kind of went out there and challenged myself in those ways, really good things have started to happen and come about because of those efforts. Right now in the career path that I am, in the trajectory that I'm being set on, some of the things that keep me up at night are really rooted in building teams, building community, and how best I can do that, and how best I can leverage my skills and strengths to bring people together. And it might be one of those things where sometimes people say what keeps you up at night might be a negative thing. I will find myself sometimes having to get up to write things down, and just out of pure excitement for some ideas that have come out of my brain and that I really need to get on paper. Because again, when you're in a rural environment or in a remote environment, the opportunities are endless. And so you really have to manage what you can do and how much effort you can put in certain areas. But it really gives you a boost of confidence and really excitement and enthusiasm to go back to work the next day and tackle some of the things that you were up thinking about at night.